to check it out. So I'm gonna quick talk about current events now. See, my old channel, I used to talk about anything and everything, you know what I mean? And I was doing the same thing on my last channel before it got deleted, because obviously YouTube don't like when the truth gets exposed, you know what I mean? So I paid the price for that. So, this channel isn't all about this fucking bullshit, fucking virus was going around there. It's not all about that. Don't get me wrong, a lot of my videos, what I'm talking about, do consist of that. But that's I'm not 100%. I'm not totally consumed by it. But it just so happens that there's a lot of talking points that need to be had, and unfortunately, a lot of YouTubers that I'm subscribed to, I've subscribed to over the years and stuff like that, a lot of them ain't even fucking talking about it. I'm not even bringing it up. You know what I mean? And I'm not too sure what that reason is. Maybe because they don't get affected by it. Maybe they don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers. Maybe they may know about it, they might have an opinion about it, but again, I don't want to talk about it because it might take away from what the channel's about or stuff like that. So in a way, I get that. In a way, I understand that. I get it. But at the same time, I think, you've got a lot of these people have got a lot of outreach, got thousands of followers, and again, I get it because it's a risk. So your channel can get taken down. But maybe, there's certain ways you can talk about certain things, right, without getting it shut down. Now, I've realised that now because it's too late. But there are certain ways you can go about talking about this issue without getting your channel shut down. And I think, it would speak volumes if a lot of these big channels would highlight the issue, because it's not like what's going on is only in like the Middle East or the UK. It's not. No, this is the worldwide takeover. Okay, and a lot of people are just totally oblivious to it. Like, don't even give a fuck. Just going on like fucking. It's not even going on. And you know what? That's their personal. That's not personal decision. That's their personal choice. I'm not necessarily picking out or singling out any particular YouTuber or anything like that. I'm just talking about as a whole. And a lot of people still walk around with their heads in the clouds. Unfortunately, they think this is just temporary. They really believe there's such thing as there's going to be a roadmap out of the bullshit. There is no roadmap. People think, if we just keep complying a little bit longer, I've reached this far, so we can just do it for a little bit longer. We can get our lives back to normal. Bullshit. Your lives ain't going back to normal. They never will be normal, and depends on your level of self-respect. It depends on whether the level of what's going on will really affect you or not, will determine whether you'll keep complying or not. At the minute, there's various people out there who are constantly complying, because maybe it doesn't affect them right about now, or maybe they think what's going on won't affect them majorly or whatever. And to some degree it won't. If you're already really wealthy or rich, whatever, chances are it might not necessarily affect you, especially if you're still rich and wealthy over the past year. It's probably not going to affect you. Okay, that can't be said the same for a lot of people out here now. Let's say what was going on now didn't affect me, and didn't affect my income, didn't affect my mental state, didn't affect, let's say just didn't have any effect on anything. Would I still talk about it? Yes, I would, because that's me as a person. And never, in the last year, I've never been more. My eyes have never been more wide open than before, than this. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it took something like this to really open my eyes to what's really going on in this fucked up world. And so you know. Again, if you've got a business online, chances are, you know, if you've got business online and you've been doing well online during this the scamdemic, then you're probably not going to really give a fuck. You know what I mean? You're probably not really going to give a fuck. But you know, the thing is, the balls just got rolling now. The ball only got rolling towards the back half of last year, and now it's in full swing. And to put a long story short, we basically fucked. That's it now. We fucked. There's no turning back because there isn't enough resistance. There's no turning back. All we've got is compliance and ever more growing up compliance. The people who are awake and conscious people like myself, it will pretty much be that way for you know, from now on. The people who are asleep or pretending to be asleep, they've had a year now to see the bullshit, and they've already picked their side. They've picked their allegiance to be that way, and that's them, you know. And that's just what it is now. We basically fucked. Okay, that's it. And that's why they're bringing out all these draconian measures. They're bringing them out more and more and more because they know they can get away with it. They know that there's so many dumbass compliant people out there that they can just put out these rules that don't make any sense to anybody who's got a brain cell, and the people are still following it. Okay, these lockdowns, they're not ending. You know, you know, these things that's going on. This, you know, what we're in now, like opening up, shutting down. You know, it's gonna be this way for a long time to come. A long fucking time. Yeah? And they're basically telling you this now. This ain't no bullshit. You know, the people who are awake, we knew this from before. Right? They're now telling you, they're telling you now. And I'm gonna post a clip once I finish talking onto this video as well. They're basically telling you that it ain't. Stuff that we've been telling you before, which you've been called conspiracy theories for, right, is now coming true as usual. They're telling you, and the clip I'm gonna post is gonna confirm that. Okay, this is only a snippet. I've seen multiple different press conferences, you know, where they've been saying basically the same thing. Okay, so what can we do about it? The people who are awake, what can we do about it? Not much, to be honest, because like I said, we fucked. We didn't comply before, we ain't gonna keep complying now. So all we can do really is just, obviously we know what's gonna come in and we know what to expect, unlike the people who are asleep. So all we can do is try and plan ahead for that and try and get things in order, get things in straight as much as possible to minimize the effects of it, you know. Whether we minimize the effect of the bullshit by 10%, 20%, 25%, 30%, whatever, it's still something, and that's the only thing we can do right about now. Okay. So anyway, with that, I'm out. I'm gonna post this little clip anyway. You'll see what I'm talking about.
With regard to an intervention as the director of the Institute.
Here's another one. Bloomberg, op-ed, we must start planning for a permanent pandemic. Never stop masks, never stop inoculations, never stop being non-essential. And why not? Bloomberg's, again, almost double his money. They're in the lockdown. It's a takeover.
Of course, no pandemic goes on forever. At some point in time, the pandemic will pass. But it may take 4 to 5 years before we finally see the end of the pandemic and the start of a post-COVID normal.
Brace yourselves. Globally, it's looking like it's going to be a little over 7 years until we can reach that 75% immunity. I know.
I think it's politically unrealistic to expect the governments to backtrack now. They've invested too much of themselves in it. So, although the ideal would be to revert to a voluntary system, which was what the authorities all recommended before last March. I don't think that that is going to happen. And I have to say that I'm extremely pessimistic about this. An interesting parallel is the continuation of wartime food rationing after the last war. People were in favor of that because they were in favor of social control. They'd had a lot of it during the war. They thought that this was an answer. In the 1950 and 51 general elections, the Labour Party lost its majority entirely because people with 5 years more experience of social control got fed up with it. Sooner or later, that will happen in this country.
Supreme Court judge in the UK says it will last at least 10 years. See, it's all being announced now. I told you over a year ago, it never ends. First it's 15 days, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and then it's forever with everything else that comes with it. The tyranny we live under is called medicalization. It is a technocracy that uses medicalization to take full control of society. And here's what's scary. Everybody acts like they're so smart that are professionals, doctors, scientists, lawyers. They don't study any of how it all works. They don't study the founts, the progenitors, the designers. I do. And they tell you, they're so arrogant, what the plan is.
I think an epidemic, either naturally caused or intentionally caused, is the most likely thing to cause, say, 10 million excess deaths. And that it's pretty surprising how little preparedness there is for it. Now, it's tricky because this is a global problem, so how do countries work together? Which countries should put up what resources? 3,900 plus dead from the vaccine. But